13-year-old Emily sat cross-legged on the living room floor, in front of her grandfather's favorite chair. She always loved this time of day, the golden hour, as Grandpa called it. Lately, Emily had felt lost. Between school pressures, friendships that seemed to change like the wind, and the constant buzz of her phone, life felt like a race she couldn't win. She longed for answers, for clarity, for someone to help her untangle the mess inside her head.
Grandpa,
Yes, my dear.
can we talk? I mean, really talk? I want to know, how do you stay so calm? So sure of yourself?
Her grandfather chuckled softly, the kind of laugh that wrapped around you like a warm blanket.
Ah, Emily, the secret isn't in being sure of yourself. It's in learning to focus on yourself. Come here, let me tell you something. Ah, my dear, come sit closer. You know, I was your age once. Life was simpler, but the lessons, they remain the same. Today, I want to tell you something that will carry you through the toughest days. Focus on yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a way that nurtures your heart, mind, and soul. When I was a young man, I worked as a carpenter. Long hours, little pay, and I thought if I just worked harder, I'd prove my worth to the world. But one day my mentor pulled me aside. He said, "John, if you wear yourself out trying to please everyone, you'll forget who you are." And you know what? He was right. You see, focusing on yourself isn't about shutting others out. It's about understanding that you can't pour from an empty cup. If you don't take care of yourself, you'll have nothing left to give. Think of it like tending a garden. You have to water your plants, pull the weeds, and give them sunlight before they can bloom beautifully. Take time to know what makes you happy. For me, it was woodworking, building something with my own hands. For you, it might be writing, painting, or simply walking in the park. Whatever it is, make room for it in your life. That's how you grow strong roots. Let me tell you a story. I once missed a sunset because I was too busy worrying about things I couldn't control. It wasn't until years later that I realized the world keeps moving, whether you stop to enjoy it or not. So promise me, you'll take those moments. Breathe them in. Let them remind you of what really matters.
But Grandpa, what if people think I'm being selfish for focusing on myself?
Ah, a wise question. People may misunderstand at first, but when they see how much happier and healthier you become, they'll understand. And those who truly care about you will support you. Remember, you're not living to meet everyone else's expectations. You're living to honor your own potential. See this? That was the first chair I ever made. I was so proud, not because someone else praised me, but because I knew I gave it my best effort. That's the secret, my dear. Focus on what fills your heart, not what pleases the crowd. So, focus on yourself, not to build walls, but to build a life that makes you proud, strong, and fulfilled. And remember, I'll always be here to remind you of that.
So, my dear, don't forget, the most important person in your life is you. Take time to grow, to breathe, to just be. Remember, the greatest journeys begin within. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present for yourself. And when you do, the world will feel a little brighter. Nurture yourself, and everything will fall into place. I hope you carry this little piece of advice with you and start focusing on yourself. Take care and live well.